Recognize you have a heart problem. You have a heart problem. Just listen to these two verses that I want to read to you. One is Matthew 15, verse 18. It says, the things that come out of a person's mouth come from the heart. All right? So what's coming out of your mouth, stems from how your heart is shaped and, how it's viewing this person. It's a heart issue, right? And Luke 6:45 says, a good man brings good things out of the good stored up in his heart, and an evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in his heart. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of. What do you think the heart could be full of when you get really snappy with your husband or really irritable or just, what do you think, what is like the heart issue, the deep root heart issue there? What do you think? Ideas? Like what could be the underlying heart issue? Resentment could be a huge one. Other ideas?
Inner turmoil.
Could be inner turmoil.
Selfishness.
Could be selfishness.
Secret sin.
Unforgiveness, secret sin.
Lack of identity.
How about fear?
Yeah.
Fear is a huge root cause of a lot of our stuff, and it shows up in a lot of different ways. But when you keep on going deeper and deeper and deeper, often a root is fear. Pray to the Father and ask Him to change your heart, because He can change your heart. I love this verse, Ezekiel 36. God says, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. So this is encouraging. Seek to fill your heart with the knowledge of God's love and meditate on His promises to always be with you. This will cause you to become more secure. And your words will be more loving and kind to others as a result. I want to call Laura up right now, actually.
Okay.
I do. Because I want to hear from you before we go any further. Again, you've been here for almost 5 years. Well, 5 years. So what for you has been the biggest challenge in taming your tongue with your husband?
When I get exhausted and tired. And if I'm not prayed up.
Yes.
Because I just believe it's all about not reacting. And I will react if I'm exhausted.
Good point.
I haven't had enough time with my girlfriends. I mean, it sounds funny, but I've learned my husband does not speak my love languages, and I have to really seek out time with my girlfriends.
Yeah.
So that when I'm with him, I don't hold any resentment. And if I'm not with my girlfriends enough, when I'm with him, I hold resentment. So it sounds
Interesting.
weird, but I've just accepted he doesn't speak my love language. And that's okay.
So you have to get
So
filled up
I
with
have
God,
to
filled up
be-
with girlfriends, so that you can
So
be
I-
calmer with Him.
Yeah, so that I don't react. That I just
Interesting.
am patient. I just believe in, I mean, this is not just with your husband, it's with everyone.
Yes.
I mean, if someone says something that kind of triggers you, like if you're full of patience and if you're happy and in a good place and you're filled with the Holy Spirit, basically, through prayer,
Yeah.
you're going to react in a better way. Or you
Pray daily for God to give you a genuine love and concern for your husband. A genuine love and concern for your husband, so that you want the best for him, even if he's let you down or caused great frustration in the past. And God is totally going to answer this prayer. Totally is going to answer this prayer, because remember in Matthew 22 where Jesus is asked what the most important commandments are, and he says, the first one is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, spirit. And then he says the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. Well, who is your closest neighbor? Your closest neighbor is your husband. If you're married, that's your very closest neighbor. So I know that God's going to answer this prayer if you say, Lord, give me a genuine love and concern for my husband. And when you have that genuine love and concern for him, your words will follow your heart, right? Your words will start to follow your heart. It's funny how we often enter marriage, really, let's just be honest, because we want this person to make us happy. It's kind of why we do it. It's just like our culture says this is what it's all about. So we marry them thinking they're going to make us happy. And then, of course, we're disillusioned, and within a month or two, we're like, what? And maybe a couple years later, like, really, this is not what I signed up for. He just doesn't get me. I must have married the wrong person. And all this kind of stuff, that's totally natural. But what if you were to actually start to pray that God would use you as an agent to show love to your husband and concern to your husband. It would change your whole marriage, actually. It would probably change the way he relates to you. Just saying. Okay, number 5. Instead of speaking impulsively, pause before reacting or speaking. Pause. This is your biggest tool. This is really your biggest tool. Besides changing your heart, having that love for your husband, pausing before reacting or speaking, and ask God to help you see how your words will impact your husband and your marriage. Proverbs 13:3. God says, those who speak rashly will come to ruin. But we always do that, don't we? We just, we just kind of verbal vomit. Yeah. And so here's what I do. I often, when I'm feeling like, I have to say something, I try to pause. I think maybe Becky mentioned this, or Laura, I don't remember which one. I try to pause, and I'm like, I'm about to say this. Lord, what will be the outcome if I say that? Help me to see what's going to happen if I say that. And it's just that little pause, a little minute conversation between me and God, and it's like he just kind of lets me know, if you say that, this is probably what's going to happen. He's going to get really upset. There's going to be blah, blah, blah. Okay, maybe I should come up with a different approach then. How about if I say that? And I'll have like this mini conversation with God in my head. But the Holy Spirit's our counselor. So he's going to help you to see what will be the outcome if I say this. If I keep on hammering away at him and nagging him, what's going to be the outcome? And God will show you what is going to be the outcome. And is it going to be what you really are hoping for or not? If you sense that you're growing grumpy or irritable, ask God to show you if you have some unresolved issues that need to be addressed. And I think Brittany was mentioning resentment is a possibility. If you hold bitterness or resentment too long, it will eventually become poisonous in your relationships, right? Hebrews 12:15 says, don't let any bitter root grow up among you to cause trouble and defile many. So pray and ask God for guidance on how to address these issues of resentment. These can be resentments from a long time ago that you've been carrying and carrying and carrying and carrying and carrying. Would you benefit by seeing a counselor? Do you need to sit down with your husband and talk through some concerns about why you're angry or resentful? Maybe you've had it all bottled up and you need to just gently and quietly discuss these things. Do you need to take a posture of humility and grace toward your husband regarding past failures that you just keep on dragging into the conversation? Do whatever it takes to conquer resentment, because it will kill your relationship if you don't deal with it. Intentionally look for 2 encouraging things you can say to your husband every day, and then say them. Now, why do you do this? How does this affect what comes out of your mouth? Because when you actually look for 2 encouraging things about your husband to say every day and you say them, it reminds your heart, oh yeah, he's not that bad. I mean, right? It kind of reminds you, like, oh, he does have some good qualities. Oh yeah. And your heart softens a little bit.